The wacky world of Multimedia J.
What's up, everyone? Back to the table one last time before the year is up. The tablet is doing just fine, but today we're going to be taking a look at something related to the Kindle because the Kindle's easier to work with for this sort of thing. Now, the term brick-and-mortar dinosaur is a derogatory term that I use to refer to brick-and-mortar stores that don't compete very well with online e-tailers on the internet. Now, there are numerous reasons why that could be the case. It could be that e-tailing simply has a leg up on retailing in certain areas. It could also be the case that maybe a company wants to belligerently try to ignore the internet as long as they possibly can. In either case, though, they wind up competing poorly against their internet competitors, and usually I can see stupid reasons why as I use various products. So today we've got the Kindle because it will illustrate my point quite easily. Let's compare something that I got off the internet with something that I got from a brick-and-mortar dinosaur. Now, one of the big problems I've had with brick-and-mortar dinosaurs lately is they gouge the living crap out of everybody in nearly all cases for anything that has anything to do with a tablet. So I've been looking for screen protectors for my tablet, for example. I haven't scratched the screen yet, and I'd like to keep it that way. So I've been looking for screen protectors, and the stores will sell me a piece of plastic for $30. Meanwhile, Amazon has third-party screen protectors with similar plastic for like $7 or something like that. Obviously, we got some brick-and-mortar dinosaur markup in play here. $30 for a piece of plastic. Another thing that stores are infamous for gouging people with is cables. And that's what I'm here to talk about today. Here is the original Kindle cable that came with my Kindle 2 years ago. Now, for those of you not familiar with Kindles, basically if it lights up, it's got a connection and it's going to charge. We're using the USB hub over there to illustrate the point here. So here is the original cable that came with my Kindle 2 years ago. Let's plug it in. Can we do this with one hand? Can we do this with one hand? Or get the... Okay, good. There, see? It's charging. It's discharged a bit over a couple of days because I've had it sitting around not plugged in. Point being, it works. So this was a cable that I got 2 years ago. A generic internet cable that Amazon shipped, or a generic USB cable that Amazon, aka some organization on the internet, sent out. Works perfectly 2 years later, despite very heavy regular use. And actually the plastic is starting to get dirty and yellow a bit now. It's that old. Now here is a cable that I paid too much for in a brick-and-mortar dinosaur 2 weeks ago. If I can get it in here. Nothing. It's broken already, and I think I know what happened. I probably bent it a little or something like that, but this is loose. This bends over a little. This bends over off to one side. So this flimsy connector has pretty much kicked the bucket. 2 years, still works. 2 weeks, broken. And this probably would cost more than this. And we wonder why brick-and-mortar dinosaurs have so much trouble with the internet. But I only wish that was the whole story right there. Here is an article from Lifehacker, which I should probably just put a link to in the description, that was posted up in February of this year based on some discussions going on Reddit at the time about some very basic stuff when it comes to wire and cable. Cables can significantly impact the charging speed of your USB devices. Apparently a lot of cheap USB cables out there are 28 gauge on both the power and the data side of the cable. Now, the gauge of a wire, for those of you not familiar with this kind of thing, is basically the thickness of the metal, and it determines what kind of current the wire can carry without there being issues with either resistance or heat. Thicker wire, better signal, more current. Yay! And in the context of charging something, more current, if the device can support it, will lead to a faster charge time. Now, with cheap cables out there being 28-28, it would make more sense to get a 28-24 gauge cable so that the power circuit has a thicker cable and therefore might charge faster, which might make the performance charging over USB to be more in line with the performance that I would get from the AC charger, which does 1 amp, or one that does 2 amps. It really depends on what the device can support in terms of current on the charging circuit. And oh my goodness, in this day and age, In this day and age where brick-and-mortar Dinostores are gouging people for $10 to $20 a cable for a charger cable for micro USB, 3-foot USB 2, male to micro 5-pin male, 2824. It's even got a ferrite to cut down on interference if there is any. Oh my goodness, $1.23. Oh, and if I want to get an off color like white, like the original Kindle cable I have, because maybe the build quality might be better on an off color or something like that, $1.11. Needless to say, I feel quite ripped off by having paid $10 at Walmart for a cable when I could have just waited and been a little patient and gotten something like this and perhaps gotten better results. I don't know. I think I'll order a few of these and see how this works out. Gotta love it. Popular technology brings the gouge artists to the yard. Whatever. Till next time, this is Multimedia J, signing off. Thanks for stopping by.